Hi guys, welcome to DOdaily Monday. Des here, who's ready for a brand new week? Some Monday motivation. Hope you've had a great weekend. I had a good one. Really enjoyed getting out for a run on Saturday. It was 10k, part of a friend's 100-kilometre ultra effort. Really epic stuff. Inspiring to all those watching in, to the Do Running community. Really impressive. He managed to complete that, so for whatever was his motivation, he certainly inspired the guys around him, certainly inspired me, made me think I want to sort of build back up to those kind of epic adventures again. So really looking forward to using that. Just say well done. I know he'll be watching, so well done again, Ben. Really good stuff. Just want to remind people viewing and those who might be viewing for the first time today that what DOdaily is all about. Basically, what I'm trying to create is a 7-day log through the Do Running community I run here in Nottingham during the pandemic and hopefully beyond. What I'm looking to do with the guys that Get Out, Get Active Nottingham, This Girl Can Nottingham, and their Stay Safe, Stay Active campaign is really sort of encourage people to get out, get active, reap all those benefits of physical activity, of course feeling healthy and being on top of any illness and things like that, but also sort of appreciate the mental health, the help it gives with mental health and making us feel better about ourselves. You know, getting out there, getting stuff done really does do the trick. Just watching others, like I mentioned on Saturday, really helps me in sort of focus on what I want to do and look forward. So that's all we're trying to do here. Of course, I mentioned an ultra event there. It's not about that. You know, we're looking at all sorts of activities, whether it's walking or running or cycling or anything. You know, we have this 7-day plan where we're just looking to encourage people to get involved, a slightly different angle on it each day. Do you know, we use a lot of social media, of course, right now. We're in the pandemic, you know, there's still sort of social distancing measures to adhere to, so we've got to be really careful about how we do this, but it's about getting out, getting active, almost coming together online, using social media and different platforms, YouTube, etc., just to a really sort of positive, in a really positive way, to get the most of being a group, being a community, staying together, and like I keep saying, motivating and inspiring each other to do different things. And that's really important. It's really important to me. I've made this journey myself, you know, 5 years ago. I've mentioned this a lot in previous episodes. I took up running. It gave me so many sort of different benefits and it has taken me in different directions. It's and ultimately leading to DOdaily, which I'm doing right now. Do you know? So that's basically what we do. In terms of the 7-day plan and what's coming up this week, of course, today is Monday motivation. Tomorrow is the Do Running City Slickers solidarity session. So that's basically where we come together, do some sort of activity virtually. So everybody does it in their own sort of space. We try and do it at 6:30. It doesn't matter if you can't, but it's great to sort of know all your friends and like-minded people and colleagues are all involved at the same time, and it really is good for getting us out on a Tuesday evening. Do you know, if you can't get out on a Monday, I love to say never miss a Monday. I really believe if you never miss a Monday, sets you up fantastically for the week. So if you can't do it today, get out tomorrow. And what we look to do from that is post your pics, you know, get you to tag in, and we'll share that across the social media. Those links will be on the end. On Wednesday, we've got Wednesday workout. Along the similar lines, it's something I do for the Do Running Trent Bridge group, which would be a really sort of friendly group activity we do on a Wednesday based here in Nottingham. But what we try and do during lockdown is create a group activity. I'll come up with a challenge, put it out to all the guys through the closed Facebook group and the social media, and we'll look to do something again. You know, it's something to get involved in. I'll have more details about that tomorrow. Still thinking about what I'm going to do. It normally comes to me quite late, but we've had some really good weeks of activity. You know, some epic stuff going on again. But what we try and do is make it inclusive to everybody. So again, whether it's walking or cycling or running, anybody can get involved. While some people do a lot of miles, you really don't have to. It's just creating that team spirit, trying to keep that going, trying to stay together during this particularly tough time. Thursday is your questions answered. Got a lot of questions at the moment, but keep them coming. Comment on this video, comment in the social media post, or send me an email to des@dorunning.org.uk, and I'll happily answer your questions. Like I said, I've got a lot to go at. It's nothing, I'm not going to shock you, I'm not going to surprise you. It's all about my experience, things I do. Do you know, I'm no expert, I say that all the time. What I'm doing here through this video, for those who are watching the first time, is really getting out of my comfort zone, do you know. I've never done this before, not started that long ago, although I've done quite a few now. But I tend to get my words wrong, I'm getting out of my comfort zone, do you know, all those kind of things. What I'm trying to be is honest and relatable, do you know, things that work for us all. We all know the technical information, we all know how it works and where to find this information if we really want to. But what I'm trying to do is put a bit of a personal touch on it, tell you how I've coped with things and how I've tackled different obstacles on the way. So yeah, that's what happens on Thursday. On Friday, wake up to walk. It's the same every week. I love that part of the week. Do you know what I tend to do? Although it don't always happen, as proved last Friday. I try and get out in a different country park or a different sort of area of nature and natural beauty around Nottingham and around Nottingham. Places I've probably been before, but not for a long time. Do you know, I really enjoy getting somewhere different, taking the pace off, but attacking the day, do you know, being left alone with my thoughts, passing on my thoughts about how things are going, reflecting on the week gone by, the activity we've done, and looking forward to the weekend ahead. And then on Saturday, I throw it all back to you. Do you know, I asked for a Saturday selfie. I asked you to send those in again on the same tags as will be posted at the end. And then Sunday this week, got a little thing. Come back to that a little later. So we've got the full 7-day activity. What it is, it's something for you to get involved in as much or as little as you like. Everything we do running and do daily is absolutely no obligation, and I say that to everybody who gets involved. Do you know, it's not aimed at one particular group. Whilst the names Do Running, I've mentioned already, we take part in various activities. The Do Running name comes from sort of my initials and my passion. Do you know, this is something I want to do. So whilst I love running, and I'll talk about how much that sort of helps me and benefits me, the point is to get out of activity what you need to get out of it. It's really, really important to do that and to make the most of the situation right now. It's still tough. Do you know, I still experience different sort of attitude towards the pandemic, towards what's going off. And you know, and whilst I'm trying to be positive all the time, it's not always easy. Somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, you're always positive." Well, it's not always that easy, do you know. I've got to try and be positive sometimes. I've got to thrive off the things I do, and this is one of those. So that's what I'm doing basically. I want you guys to sort of enjoy what we do, get involved as much as you can, and take all those benefits. I mentioned there about get up to walk, and I've spoke a lot about walking. It's something I'm looking into with the Get Out, Get Active guys as lockdown sort of eases and getting more and more people active. And I was fortunate last week to sit down with one of my inspirations in life, a guy who played for my favourite football team. Really enjoyed getting the chance. Somebody who's taken up walking this year, really reaped the benefits. So this week's Monday motivation is a few words from former Nottingham Forest and Wales goalkeeper Mark Crossley. He's going to tell you why walking is brilliant.
So I started walking. A friend of mine, a local pal, said to me, "Why you come for a walk with me, big man? I can see you're not yourself. You're not your usual jolly self. You're a funny guy, but I'm seeing some differences in you. Come and have a walk." And I went for this walk, and I said, "How far are we going?" He says, "Well, we'll do it between 7 and 8, 9, 10 miles." I went, "Are you mad? I'm not walking that far." Anyway, I did it. and I instantly fell in love with it. And then I started to go out on my own because I love music. I started listening to music. And then I started sharing my walks. Somebody said to me, don't you say brilliant a lot? Whether that's just a thing from where I'm from or whether, he said, God, you say on them videos, you say brilliant a lot. He went, I've got something for you. I went, what? He went, #walking's brilliant. I went home and I thought about it. I thought, do you know what? That is brilliant. That is Mintonius. I've developed all these words, Mintabulous and all that. And people have responded to it. So you can kind of say that as much as what it has helped me to start going out walking, and now I'm an avid walker now. I walk minimum between 30 and 40 miles a week. If I can do more, I'll do more. And it's just it's hard to explain the release and that time, whether it's listening to music or whether it's thinking or whether it's doing the videos. I'm walking 5 and 6 miles now, and it's not far enough. And I've only been walking since January. Now, if I go above 10 miles, I don't like it. So you have to find your niche. You've got to find what suits you, what makes you feel good. Now, it might be 20 minutes on the clock, or it might be 1 mile. That might be your goal. So find your goal. What I would say is find your goal. Find what you can do, not what you have to put yourself through stress to do. And whatever you can do, I will guarantee you 6 months down the line, you'll be going, do you know what, I've got another goal now. I'm going to go another mile, or I'm going to go another half an hour. So it's not how far or how good. And you know what, the one thing mostly that I like, especially when I go out on my own, how many people say, good morning, hello, how are you doing? You okay? Yeah, lovely, nice to see you. That's the self-satisfaction where you go, do you know what, that was lovely to talk to that old fella there, or that guy that might be a little bit overweight, and then he can think, oh, do you know, I bet he goes home and thinks, oh, it was nice to talk to that man there, and that builds.
I love that you say that, because I go out on a Friday. I do daily on a Friday morning at 7 a.m. and I call it Wake Up to Walk. So it's at 6 p.m. during the week, and then on a Friday it's at 7 a.m. and I go around the city grinding onto the River Trent. And talking to the people, that's almost the best part of it, isn't it? People seeing what you're doing. And what you said there about it's not about how far you go or how fast you go. That's exactly what I encourage, whether it's running or walking. I always say to the guys, it's just about being involved. Part of it for us, and I know you do a lot of it on your own or sometimes with others, part of it's just being in that community and being around people who are talking about it and encouraging and like-minded.
I think last Wednesday now we had a group of 15 went to a place near us, one of my favourite places called Langsett Reservoir, because I like walking near water. I like the noise of water. I like the smell of the woods near the water. It's really weird. And then I like being up, seeing things below, the lovely views. That's what I love. And if I had a choice, I'd walk near water. Second choice would be to walk through a wooded area. Third choice would be to be high up, looking lovely views. Now, when I mix all them, it's even better. So that's why I go to this place quite regular, but I don't go the same route. I go different routes. I like to get lost. I like it when I get lost. I'm not afraid to take a sign that says public footpath. Doesn't make. We can always come out somewhere and go, oh, I know where I am now. But that adds to the enjoyment as well. You can sit down. I always take a flask of coffee, sometimes with a little bit of brandy in it if it's cold. And it's all these little things that I have to say mentally does it for me. I'm not saying it does it for everybody, but I'm thinking if it helps me and I can express how it helps me, surely it can help others as well. And basically, that's over the last 6 months. That's my life's kind of changed around simply because of walking.
Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Really, really inspiring stuff. Brilliant to hear from Mark Crossley. Really put me in a good mood last week, you know, talking to somebody I grew up watching from the stands at the City Ground, you know, and you can see by what he said, he's really, really loving his walking. He's really, really encouraging activity. There's a lot more to that interview, so if you want to hear the full interview, please tune in on Sunday. Like I mentioned before, the special Sunday social this week. And what I'm going to look to do in future weeks is almost create an interview type scenario where I talk to somebody different about their experiences with activity and lockdown and motivation and that kind of thing. But like I say, getting the chance to speak to Mark this week was absolutely fantastic and put me in such a positive frame of mind about what I do. I mentioned quite a lot that I've already mentioned it today, that I'm out my comfort zone, and what I will say there is it took me an age to actually pluck up the courage to ask him. I didn't think he'd be interested, but within a couple of seconds, Mark said to me, yes, he'll help, and he'll help wherever he can. So do give that a watch on Sunday. It's really, really good stuff. He talks about his own mental health. Again, something I'm really trying to touch on here without scaring people into thinking we're preaching or telling them what to do. That's really what I'm not trying to do. Do you know, all I've done in the last few years is recognise my own mental health, and what I try to do on the back of that is just try and make people feel comfortable by using myself as the example. But fortunately, like I say, we've got Mark to do that. Somebody who's been in the public eye for many years. Whilst you all might not know who he is, of course the football fans will, and local football fans to Nottingham will. So really, really good stuff. There's some great stuff about mental health, about his inspirations in life. Look out for a preview clip at the end of this video, and make sure you tune in at 9 AM on Sunday for that. So that's basically Monday Motivation this week, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that. Do you know? Hope you're looking forward to what's coming up. Do you know? I really am. Like I say, it's just a simple way to sort of pass on that message of what we're doing. Try and get you involved as much as you want to. Do you know? Take all those benefits. I said on Attack the Day Friday last week, it's important to listen to what people say, and I hung on to every word that Mark Crossley said there. So and I'm going to use some of that, although I agree with him and I've said a lot of that stuff. It was great for me to hear, because it kind of, whilst I'm questioning myself all the time, whilst I'm overthinking, do you know, about what people are saying, what people are thinking of me, what people think I do daily, it sort of reassured me at the same time as well. And other people approach things the same way. I was really struck by his journey with walking was so similar to mine with running, despite we're completely sort of poles apart in terms of where we come from and what we've done in our lives to this point. So it's really, really important just to listen. Again, I'll reiterate that from Friday. Listen, see what's available, and act upon it. For now, guys, look out for that clip. Like I say, just doing it.
I didn't realise it at the time, but I do now, looking back, that I worked for the greatest manager that ever lived. I was lucky enough to do it, because he didn't only teach me about football, he taught me about life in general.